right, welcome back to another episode of Stitch Method on the road, currently at the Grand Tetons in Wyoming. Absolutely amazing state park. We're going to do a very, very quick video. This is just about an idea that is kind of extended from my free 2-hour cage masterclass, and I find that it's a really musical approach that I hear a lot of in my favorite jam bands or improvisation or even just melodies, and that is being able to practice your arpeggios with motifs. And motifs make things musical because there's a sense of familiarity, there's a pattern to it. So what do I mean by this? Well, really quickly, I will show you. If I'm going to take a B chord, a C-shaped B chord right here. If you look at the full arpeggio, you have these notes here. And making a motif is about creating a pattern and repeating it throughout your musical phrase. So something like this. My awning is flopping around, right? And so we have this little thing. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this entire video, how to create those motifs, both going up and down, and when to use them. I have a couple of videos I'm going to reference right now. Number one is my Mark Knopfler video about extended arpeggio runs. You're going to see this idea or these patterns in them. So if you like this, check that out. And actually, I think that's the only video I'm going to reference right now. All right, so let's take a look at this. I have a chord progression on a looper. It's just E to B. It's E to B. And what we're going to do is we're going to emphasize the B. Oh, that was the second video. I have a video I released a month ago, right over here, about practicing rogue chord tones. This is like a complimentary video on how to do it. If you like this, check out that video. That video will really, really help you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to accent the B here. We're going to solo with an E major pentatonic on the E. And when it comes to the B, we're going to create these motifs, these triplet motifs. And so let's give it a listen, and then we'll discuss how it's done. Let's see. So right there, those little ideas, all right? So let's talk about what they are. You can get a lot of mileage out of them. A motif is just a repeating pattern. You pick a pattern, stick to it, throw it throughout your arpeggio. So what is the pattern? Here's that C-shaped chord. You're going to start on the root now. Now I'm going to talk about when we're going down the arpeggio, or actually up the arpeggio, but from the thickest string to the thinnest. And we're going to pluck with the downstroke, and we're going to pluck the first 3 notes. And then you're going to start on the second note in which you started. So you can go like this. Excuse me, not that terrible. And then you're going to start on this note and pluck the next 3. Then you start on this note, and then you start on this note. So you have this, this motif. And these are triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. You can go fast or slow as you practice. All right, so I'll play one more time so now you can see what's happening. There it is. There was a slow and a fast one. So this is the motif. Now that's going from thick to thin on the strings. You can go from thin to thick. One thing I want to say is that when I'm going from thick strings to thin strings, I really like to start on the root note. I don't know why, I just do. But when I'm coming from the thin strings to the thick strings, I start on anything. So here's that full arpeggio. Now when I'm going from thin to thick, I'm going to start on this note, and I'm going to do the same pattern. Now I'm going to pluck up, by the way. Don't mind the car. Let's wait a second. He's going too fast. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and ending on the root note. And so we have these patterns, these triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we can throw them in. So let me solo again, but now let's try doing the thin ones. So there, I kind of like doubled up on some, but you can see forward and backwards. And so this is a very, very, very quick video. I hate these shameless plugs, but I already made my practice sessions for Patreon, where we're going to go over each cage chord shape, and we're going to practice our arpeggios with these motifs back and forth, okay? And so I'll show you really quickly, just, you know, here's an E-shaped B chord, and here's the arpeggio. All right, there it is. And I'll do some motifs from there just to show you it works. And you hear this a lot when the music stalls out. Like, what I mean by stalling out is when there's like an elongated chord, one chord. You usually find these like, they kind of build momentum into the next part. So I'll play it down here just to show you. It's the same idea. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, and even backwards. There's music in them because there's a pattern. So here we go. The car passing by was a cue to stop. Very, very simple. Create motifs, create these patterns with your arpeggios so that they're in your fingers, so that if you're improvising, you know, A, what they're going to sound like, and B, you can almost taste them on your taste buds when you're ready to, like, you know, bust them out in your solo, excuse me. And so, really quick lesson. Again, if you want to practice with me, join me on Patreon. Thank you for being here. Hope you're enjoying the view of the Grand Tetons, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.